Hi, let's welcome to beginning class number 5. And this is actually the class where we'll start putting the form together. But first, let's do the animals, and then we'll review the various form sequences that we've taught you, and then we'll start putting them together. So, taking it from the top, the bear, feet parallel, comfortable distance apart, and just turning side to side. The rear crown of the head is as if suspended. So you can feel your whole open body hanging down from the head. It's like somebody has a hold of your head and has just lowered you to the ground. You're not trying to push up, you're letting yourself hang down from the head. The waist and hips do all the work. So as you turn side to side, the shoulders stay aligned with the hips. The nose stays over the belly button. So put one finger on your nose, put the other finger in your belly button, and do this a little bit and just feel that they're turning together. It's like you're a stack of dinner plates and you're turning the bottom plate, and so the whole stack turns as you do that. Feel your feet on the ground. The tripod in each foot, connected to the ground. The bubbling well, the point at the apex of the arches of the foot, is open to the ground. You're not trying to mash it on the ground, but you can feel through the bottom of your foot. Let your arms be completely relaxed. So their motion is a result of the turning of the waist. And let your mind rest in your dantian. So your awareness is in your center. 2 fingers below the belly button, 3/7 of the way in. So basically right in your center. Really feel that the motion is happening and you're watching it from there. You're not just thinking about your belly from the control room of the head. You're actually down there in the dantian. So you watch the motion happening from your center. Professor Chung Man Ching, Chinese guy who taught our teachers, said you should do this every morning for 300 times. I don't usually count, so I do it for a while. But 297, 298, 299, and 300. Okay, the tiger. Just putting it all together because you've got this by now. Feeling open, rounded, comfortable. Step to the left, rear foot comes with you. Change your weight in place, open your claws. Back. Step to the right, rear foot comes with you. Change your weight in place, open your claws. As you come forward, the arms are rounded. They make fists. When you sit back, you rotate your forearms to send your palms out. Rounded fists, rotating. Notice that my arms aren't up particularly high. First principle is relax, and we really mean it. When you step forward, it's heel first, and then the foot rolls onto the ground. The rear foot comes in on the ball, and then as you shift, the whole foot goes flat. As you sit onto the rear foot, your front foot comes up on the ball. So heel, flat, ball of the front foot. Heel, flat, ball of the front foot. So really feel the changes happening in the feet. This frolic is great for getting you skill with stepping, which seems kind of silly. Most of us think we know how to step and walk. With any luck, will help you realize how much is going on in the stepping and walking. And you'll get better at it. Heel first, all the weight, rear foot, pour the weight from one leg to the other. Heel first, all the weight, rear foot, pour the weight from one leg to the other. Making sure you continue to breathe. The belly expands on the in-breath and releases on the out-breath. Abdominal breathing. So let your belly expand as you breathe in, and just let go as you breathe out. The awareness goes with this. Feel everything, and as you sit back, look through the fingers of the hand that goes with your front foot. It's like a piercing awareness through the hand. So feel everything around you, pierce through your right hand. When you look through the fingers, you don't have to hold your hands up by your eyes. They can still be down in a comfortable place and you look through the fingers. You're not trying to look at your hand, you're looking past the hand. Once more on each side. The monkey really works cross balance. So step out with one foot and get the other hand ready. Extend forward, feel a line of stability from your front foot all the way through to the other hand, and then grab that peach, bring the rear foot in. Here's your line of balance. Weighted foot to opposite hand, and come back. Step with the other foot, the other opposite hand. Forward, feel the line of balance, front foot to opposite hand. Grab that peach, and back. So if you can get that line of balance, when you do this, you're going to be totally stable. You can do anything you want with that empty foot. If you don't have that, you'll be wobbly and you won't be able to. So get that line of stability from front foot to opposite hand. Step, get the other hand ready. Feel the front foot, feel it connect to the reaching hand. Stable, grab the peach. Step, feel the front foot to the opposite hand. Fill, stable, grab the peach. So when the rear leg moves, you're not pushing off, you're not launching yourself. You're using your front leg, you've got that line of stability. It's easy to bring the rear foot in. And get the timing so that just as the fingers touch, the rear foot touches down on the ground. So you feel all the fingers come together and the ball of the rear foot touches the ground. Line of stability, everything happens together. Once more on each side. The deer, the gentle and tender deer. Thing about the deer is we're going to step in and out of 70-30s a bunch, as we will show you later on today, and as you see when we do the brush knee, play guitar sequence, we don't always step with our feet in the perfect positions, and so then we have to change them. This one helps you figure out where the feet are, so that when you get into more complicated things where you have to be moving the feet, you'll be able to do the right thing. So the key thing, do just the stepping with me. Put your weight in your right foot. Put your left foot out and slightly to the side. Make sure the toes are pointed exactly straight ahead, and then put your weight into it. So you've got space side to side and forward and back. The 2 feet are angled relative to each other, And if you sit in your back foot, you can pick your front foot up without changing anything. If you step too far, when you sit in your back foot, you're going to have to lean the body to get the front foot off the ground, or you'll pick it up and it'll fall back down. I need to be in a place where I can float my front foot width of a sheet of paper off the ground. So do it on the other side. Sit on your left leg. Step forward and to the side with the right foot. Make sure it's a place you can pick it back up. Shift most of your weight into it. Make sure you've got space side to side between the feet and forward and back. And the 2 feet are at angles relative to each other, not parallel. Sit into the back foot. Make sure you can pick the front foot up. Okay, and now the deer. We're just going to practice that stepping over and over while you're doing things with the hands. So you've got to be doing 2 things at once. So gather, display your antlers, and bring everything back. Gather as you shift, display your antlers, bring everything back. Make sure the rear heel stays on the ground as you get into the front leg. So that's another thing you have to pay attention to. What this becomes is one feeling. It's the feeling of Tai Chi. And you'll notice that you're less stable if you're not like this. And you won't like that, and you'll teach yourself to be more stable. A little deer smile, because watching the motion that's gathered in my rear foot come through the body to the fingers and beyond feels good, and so you have a little deer smile. Continuing to breathe. The important thing is breathing, abdominal breathing. So watch if you're holding your breath. And relax and let yourself keep breathing. Okay. Once more on each side. Finally, the crane. And in the crane, you're making these crane's beaks. All 4 fingers come together to touch the thumb. So make sure that you've actually got all the fingers touching the thumb. Not just all the fingers touching each other. See how these last 2 fingers aren't touching my thumb? All the fingers touching the thumb. All the fingers touching the thumb. And then the crane's beak just hangs loose. When we open the wings, let the front of the chest be soft. Don't get severe and tight. Let this be a gradual opening across the front of the chest. And then the big thing about the crane is synchronizing the body, the breath, and the awareness. So as the body opens, the breath comes in, the awareness expands. As the body closes, the breath goes out, the awareness focuses back in the dantian. So go ahead. Coming forward and opening. Bring the hands together and shift back. Forward and opening. Bring the hands together and shift back. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale, exhale. Feel all the space all around you. Bring your awareness back into the dantian. So feel an opening, expansive awareness. Bring it back into the dantian. All happening together. Body opens, breath comes in, awareness expands, body closes, pushes the air out, awareness focuses. Opening and closing. And once more on each side. Great. I'm going to run through the form sequences briefly, and we're not going to spend a lot of time on them today because we taught them to you in previous classes. You should be practicing them, and we're going to start stringing them together. So as we string them together, we will abandon sequences because now you'll have the form to do them in. But let's start by doing the sequences. So the first one is the ward-offs. So sit into your right leg, turn to the right, make a ball of air, the right hand is on top, step forward and shift, the two hands switch, ward off. Top hand goes with your left leg, it's rounded. Bottom hand goes with your back leg, it's resting on the head of the small child. Waist is exactly square to the front. And come back, do it on the other side. Shift to the left, turn to the left, ball of air, left hand on top, right foot steps. As you shift forward, the two hands switch. Final posture, high hand goes with the front leg, it's rounded. Bottom hand goes with the rear leg, it's on the head of the small child. So just repeating that, ball of air, hands switch as you come forward. Ball of air, waist is turned to the corner. Square the waist, shift the weight, hand switch. Waist is turned to the corner. Waist squares as the hand switch. Waist is turned to the corner for the ball of air. Squares as the hand switch. Make sure the front palm is facing the body. For some reason, this move leads people to turn their hands out. This is saying no. It's like a traffic cop stop. Instead, make sure the palm is facing the body. It'll be so much softer. From the ball of air, the bottom hand just swings up so the palm is facing the body. Once more on each side. Okay, the grass sparrow's tail sequence. We'll face the direction we're going to face in the form, so, front of the room, you're going to be facing to the right. Start out with your right foot forward. The right hand is high, palm facing the body, not a traffic cop. The left hand is between the right hand and the body, a small horizontal ball of air. Shift more weight into the front, turn to the right, and sit all the way into the back as you do that left palm up by right elbow. Turn from the right corner to the left. Keep turning, let the arms swing. Turn back towards the front, squeezing the hands together. Back to a 70-30. Left palm covers the right wrist. Sit back, palms turn down, elbows drop into rear root, and push forward. Reset. Ward off right. Continue. Roll back from right corner to left. Keep turning. Press, the hands squeeze together, you shift into a 70-30. Sit back, hands separate, palms turn down, elbows drop into rear root, and push. Back to the ward off, and continue. Turning, shifting. Turning, keep the weight in the back. Turn back towards the front, keep the weight in the back. Shift into the front, press. Sit back, palms turn down, elbows drop. Push forward, push. Ward off, right. Roll back. Press. And push. Again, ward off. Continue, go ahead. And one more time. Ward off right. Turn to the right. Sit back. Left palm up by right elbow. Roll back. Turn from right corner to left. Let the arms swing. Come back towards the front. Hands squeezing together. Press. 70-30. Sit back. Palms turn down. Elbows drop and push. Great. Grasp sparrow's tail. Then we got one more. Brush knee and play guitar. And then I'll turn it over to Beth and she'll start hooking this stuff together. And then you'll be impressed by how much you've learned. So, brush knee. Left foot is forward. It's a 70-30. Right hand is high. Left hand is by your thigh. All the way down into the front foot. Pick the rear foot up. Replace it. Shift, opening, and close. Bring the hands together. Bring the front foot in on the heel. Let the foot go down on the ground. Turn, swing your arms. Front hand drops. Rear hand folds. Front foot steps. Shift, brush knee. Again, gather into the front foot. Shift into the back foot. Stretching the rubber band. Release the rubber band. Hands and foot come together. Play guitar. Turn the waist, swing the arms. Left hand drops, right hand folds, left foot steps. Shift, waist still in the corner, turn, brush knee. Gathering. Replace the rear foot. Stretch the rubber band opening, release the rubber band closing. Play guitar. Turn the waist, swing the arms. Front hand drops, rear hand folds, front foot steps. Shift, waist still in the corner, turn, brush knee. Couple more times. Just flow through it so you get familiar with these shapes. Brush knee, gather into the front foot, pick the rear foot up, put it back down. As you shift, the waist opens to the right, that stretches the rubber band. Release, you turn back towards the front. Hands and foot come together. Play guitar, the right palm is facing the left elbow. Both of my fingers are pointed ahead. My left foot has come in on the heel so that it would just clear my right foot if I brought it back. Turn the waist, let the right arm drop and swing up. When you've turned to the corner, drop your front hand, fold the rear hand. As that finishes, step with the front foot. Shift, keeping the waist in the corner. Then turn, brush knee. Once more. Gather. Stretch the rubber band. Release the rubber band. Turn the waist, let the arms swing. Front hand drops, rear hand folds, front foot steps. Shift. Then turn, brush knee. Okay, great. Those are the sequences. They're good to practice on their own because they get you actually moving. You see our approach now. We're trying to get you moving in Tai Chi ways. We'll start worrying about all of the gory little details with time. I did a little bit of that with you today with the angles and the 70-30s and where the hands are and everything. But the main thing right now is to get this all moving so that you actually feel the Tai Chi flow and so that you've got something to work on. So we're going to start stringing them together now. And as we do that, going forward in the next classes, we'll de-emphasize some of the things we've spent time on so far, like the animal frolics. We may not do those over these next weeks, but we'll bring them back. And if you keep working with us, you'll see we do the animals all the time. We introduce them to you to get you making those shapes. We think it's really important for you to practice them. We're just not going to spend class time on them. But then we'll bring it all back, and you're already starting to see these shapes. Like the deer shape, well, is really just exactly what we did for rollback. So as you're making this shape and you're figuring out how the hands go, you're learning how to do rollback out of grass sparrow's tail. So they're all in there, and let's start putting them together.
All right, let's start putting the form together. So we're going to start with the opening move rather than closing with the opening move. And We'll just go from the opening move to ward off left. So let's do it. Heels together and begin. Sitting into your right leg, lateral step to the left, shift to the left, open to the right, come back to the center, pivoting on the heel of the right foot, weight in the center, stand up to an unlocked knee position. Raise arms, up, back to the body, fingers point up, come back down. Now, sit all the weight into your left leg, right hand comes up, right foot pivots, left hand comes in underneath it, and shift onto your right leg. Turn your body to face the wall. That releases your left foot at the ball. Let's just do that much again from the top. Begin. Weight in the right, lateral step to the left, shift to the left, open to the right, back to the center, foot comes with you, stand up to an unlocked knee position, hands come up toward the body, fingers point up, back down. Sit into your left leg, right arm comes up, turn to the right, right foot pivots on heel, left hand comes in underneath it, and shift into your right leg, letting your body fully face the wall. That frees your left foot and it pivots on the ball. Let's do it again. Shift and step. Shift. Turn back to the front. Standing up, raise hands. Sit to the left, right arm comes up, turn to the right, right foot pivots on heel, left hand comes in underneath, shift to the right, release the left leg. And we'll do it once more, and then this time we'll go on to the next step in the transition to get you into ward off left. And begin. Step, shift. Back to the center, standing up. Raise hands. They come in, point up, and come back down. Sit to the left, right hand comes up, turn to the right, shift, release your left leg. Now you're facing the wall. You're going to turn to face the corner. As you do that, your left foot pivot on the ball and take a step. This is just like coming into the sequence. Shift into your left leg, the right hand comes down, the left hand is in a circle in front of you, and your right hand is resting on the head of a small child standing in front of your right thigh. Voila! Now you're in ward off left. Let's just do this a whole bunch. And begin. Sit into the right leg. Step out. Shift to the left. Turn back to the front. Weight in both feet. Raise hands. Hands come in, rebalance, and find their way back down. Sit onto the left leg, right arm comes up, turn to the right, left hand comes in underneath, making a ball of air. Shift to the right, release the left so that you're facing the wall. Now turn to the corner, keeping the ball of air, and take a step. Heel first, and then shift. Right hand comes down, left hand in front of the center of chest. Turn in, back foot on the heel, and you end up in the final posture. Let's do it again, and then I'll talk about some of the details. Weight in the right leg, lateral step to the left, shift to the left, open to the right. Turn to the front, right foot pivots on heel, weight in both feet, stand up to an unlocked knee position. Raise hands. Come back toward the body, drop the elbows, fingers point up, hands come back down. Sit on the left leg, right hand starts to rise, turn to the right, ball of air, shift, turn to face the wall completely, and then turn to the corner. Take a step, begin to shift, right hand goes down, left hand comes up, more weight in your left leg, turn in, back foot, and dantian. That moves the hands the rest of the way. So take a break, and I want to talk about a couple of the details in this transition. So we've just done the opening move. I sit into the left and let the right arm come up, turn, and at this point I'm still using the left leg. The right leg does not have the weight in it. Then I shift onto the right leg. As I do that, my body turns to face the wall. It brings everything in like a click, that everything comes together. I'm all lined up facing the wall, hands in a ball of air. After I get here, now all the weight is in my right leg and my left leg is empty. Turn to the corner to get ready to step. The left foot has turned with me, not because I'm turning, but because I'm turning. So the foot is ready now. Look at the angle of it. It's ready to take a step directly forward. So that's what I want to do. I haven't put any weight in this leg yet, so it can step forward, heel first, and then as I begin to shift, the foot comes down, the hands start to move, I'm still in the corner. When I get more weight into the left leg, now I'm going to bring the right side around. That's what makes the final posture. Lee talked last time about the importance of pivoting on the heel of the back foot in a 70-30. So you're coming from a place where your feet are at 90 degrees to one another. Get out of this leg and into this one, and then turn, pivoting on the heel until your foot is at an angle and you're in a good 70-30, and the hands have arrived in the posture that you've been practicing now over and over, the ward-off left. Remember how we talk about keeping distance between your 2 feet. Well, the same thing is true, but now we're not starting in a V, stepping forward and out to the side. We have to know where that is. So, again, coming through here, if when I turn to the corner, I just step as long as I possibly can, you see what just happened? I lost my width. So watch what I'm going to do with this right leg. When I turn to the left leg, when I turn to the corner, see where my toe is? I just want to put my heel somewhere right in that same plane, that same direction, so that when I finish, if I started with my feet shoulder width and I do that, I will still have space between my feet side to side and a little bit of length as well. So let's do it together and pay attention to those details. From the top, heels together, and begin. Sit down, take a step. Sit onto that leg, bring the other foot around. Stand up, And raise hands. And then they come back down. Sit onto the left leg, the right hand rises, turn to the right, pivoting on the heel of the right, left hand comes in underneath it. You're sitting in your left leg, now shift to your right leg. Free the left so that you're facing the wall completely. Now turn to the corner, let the foot pivot on the ball, and just think about putting your heel in the same dimension as your foot already was, and begin to shift, sitting down, left hand comes up, right hand comes down. You're in the corner, you've got more weight in your left leg. Now turn in, back foot, waist turns, right hand drops, left hand is in the ward-off position. Let's just do this some more. And begin. Shift, step, shift, turn back to the front, stand up, raise hands, and back down. Left leg, right arm, turn to the right, ball of air, shift, free your left leg, turn to the corner, take a step, begin to shift, right hand comes down, left hand comes up, more weight in your left leg, turn in, back foot on heel as you come around to the front. And again. Begin. Step. Turn. Back to the front. Stand up. Raise arms. Back in. Point up. Back down. Weight in the left. Right arm rises, turn to the right, left hand comes underneath it, shift to the right, release the left, turn to the corner, step in that same plane, begin to shift, sit down, come across into your left leg, turn in, back foot, and complete the move. Do it another time. And begin. I won't say so much this time. Shift. And turn. Shift. Turn to the corner. Take a step. Begin to shift. More weight in your front leg. Turn in, back foot on heel as you finish the move. And rest your legs. So you got to move your arms with your legs so the whole thing comes together. So we're looking at it in some little pieces that will put you in the right position for completion. So when we come to this place, you want your hands to be relating to one another, palm to palm. When you shift, everything kind of lines up, comes into position. And then from here, you can turn to the corner. Nothing has changed yet. Take a step. As you begin to shift, the hands are going to change. So left hand is coming up, right hand is going down. I'm putting my weight into my left leg and sitting down to do that. Get more weight into your left leg. Then you're going to turn, the foot's going to pivot on the heel. You're going to turn your dantian, your waist and hips. And as you do that, your hands will find their way into the final position. So let's do that again. And go. Weight in the right leg, weight in the left. Back to the center, both legs. Move. Raise hands. Sit onto the left leg, right arm starts to come up, turn. That brings the left hand underneath it, palm up. Sit onto the right leg, release the left. Turn to the corner. Step. Begin to sit down onto the left leg. Your hands are changing. When there's more weight on your left leg, turn in the back foot and turn the waist. Okay. And rest your legs. So one of the things that's happening here is we're using just one leg and then changing to the other leg. This is the second most important principle in Tai Chi. Relax is the first one. The second one is this idea of separating empty and full. So it's like the yin-yang symbol, right? Two colors. And they can change back and forth. The opening move, you end up 50-50. After that, you're not going to be 50-50 the same way. So when you sit into your left leg, you want to let the right leg release so that you can turn to the right. When I get to this place, all the weight is resting on this leg. When you shift here, all the weight is resting on this leg. That way, when you need to take a step, this leg is empty and you can step it. Then 70-30 is its own thing. You're sitting in your stance. The front leg is holding you up, has more weight in it, but the back foot is still connected to the ground completely. So this may seem like 50-50 right now, but think of it as using one leg to support you and the other leg as just releasing into the ground, so that this is the leg that's holding you up. Let's do it again. Okay, begin. Raise hands. Back down. All the weight onto your left leg. Turn to the right. Your right leg is empty. Now shift. Empty your left leg. Turn to the corner. You're still only using your right leg. Take a step in that same dimension and begin to shift, sitting down, bending the knees, the hip joint. When you get more weight in your left leg, turn in back foot and dantian. Hang out here a moment. If you don't feel like you're in a comfortable position, fix it. So this is why we've done all this ward off left and both sides, is so that you get a sense of what's the comfortable position. So if it feels like you're on a tightrope, that means that you stepped without any space between your feet side to side. There's no place to sit down. So put your foot where you've got room to sit down. If it feels like there's too much going forward, maybe your back foot turned in too far. If it feels like you're split apart into two pieces, you probably didn't get your back foot turned in. If your back foot has trouble turning in, you might not have enough width. So these are all little puzzle pieces for you to figure out to get your body in a place that feels like a good 70-30. And the challenge is getting there in the form. So notice what you did to fix yourself to be more comfortable. Okay, so let's do it again and then we'll continue. And begin. Raise hands. And back down. Sit on the left, turn to the right. Shift to the right, turn to the corner, step out, and shift. Word off left. Now put all your weight into the left leg and turn to the corner. Ball of air. Let your hands turn over. Take a step to the right with your right foot, pointing the toes straight ahead. And as you shift, let the right hand come up into word off and leave the left hand hanging out here. And when you get more weight in your right leg, turn to the right. Now you've got word off right. And we can do all of Grasping Sparrow's Tail. So the transition from word off left all the way comes forward and you turn to the corner. When you get to the corner, let your hands form a ball of air. Take a step to the right. Begin to shift. The right hand comes up. And now you've got your hands already in ward off right position. Just turn in the back foot and the dantian, and you're ready to go. So let's put all that together from the top. And begin. Into the right leg. Step with the left. Sit on the left leg, open to the right. Right foot pivots on the heel till you're back to the front. 50-50, stand up. Raise arms, come back, drop elbows, fingers point up, hands come back down. Sit onto the left leg, right arm rises, turn to the right, left hand comes in, shift to the right, release the left, turn to the corner, step. Begin to shift, left hand comes up, right hand comes down, more weight in your left leg, turn in back foot and dantian. All the weight into your right leg, coming forward. Turn to the corner, ball of air. Step to the right, toes pointing straight at the right wall. Begin to shift, right arm comes up, more weight in your right leg. Turn in back foot on heel, and now you have word off right. Continue. Turn to the corner. Sit onto the back leg. Turn to the other corner. Swing your arm. Bring it back and press. Hands come apart. Elbows drop. Come forward. Push. Let's do it all together again. And begin. Sitting on the right leg, sitting on the left leg, shifting to both, coming up to an unlocked knee position. Arms rise, come in, and come back down. Sit on the left, right arm rises, turn to the right, right foot pivots on heel, shift to the right, left leg releases, turn to the corner, step, begin to shift, left hand comes up, right hand comes down, more weight in your left leg, turn in back foot, and dantian, word off left. All the weight into your left leg, hands turn to a ball of air as you turn to the corner. Take a step, begin to shift, right hand comes up, turn in back foot as you turn to the right, and continue. Do it one more time and call it a day. And yay, you're doing Tai Chi now. This is the Tai Chi form. You just, like that, have all these moves. So let's do it together one more time. Begin. Okay, so now you've got a whole lot to practice. Ask us questions if you have any, and just keep working through these shapes, and pretty soon you'll have even more of the form.